Hi. So again, I am about to get into a session. Um, and like I got like 20 minutes, and I was just like watching a Claire Saffit's video, and just I don't know. It's really cloudy today and cold as it can get here. So I was just like being really gloomy. Um, but I was thinking about my job necessarily, not necessarily like my job, but a part of my job. So I think I told you guys already, I work as a psychologist, as a therapist, and I love like being in touch with patients and clients and talking, fixing, and I don't know, like just being supportive. I love being that role. I love to study for new cases and things that I am not pretty sure. So I say to my clients, okay, so I'm not pretty sure how to deal with this, but I'm going to study and I'll get back to you. And we kind of like get it together and we tag and see how can that like work better. I love the part of being in touch with people, but there is also the part where like I am not completely established as a therapist, so I don't have much of a client rotation. I don't have like clients coming to me every week and trying to schedule appointments or sessions. I don't know how you guys like say. I'm just going to use session because it's closer to Portuguese. But then like there's this new side for the profession now that you gotta like have a digital footprint. That's the way that you find therapists nowadays is online. And I was on a couple of websites to make like to to get me clients, and I think for the past 2 years I've been doing like content. So I was on Instagram, which is really common here in Brazil. If you're any type of professional, you gotta have like a profession Instagram page, which sucks. And then for the past year, I've been doing TikToks. But again, like I kind of have to deal with this feeling of, will I do like trendy things, just like being funny and getting likes. Not claiming that I can do that because I never tried to do that. But I've been trying for a while now to do something that I really like, that is talking about movies, because I do talk about movies a lot with my clients. I think movies are like the perfect. We use a lot of metaphor when talking, especially like in my I don't know how to say, but like the way that I practice clinic, maybe. We use a lot of metaphors because not every situation you can kind of talk with the client on it, like directly. So we use like metaphor to like soothe in and ease in. So movies kind of work as a perfect middle ground for me personally, because, it's a place where you engage, you can have catharsis, and you can just like really be like, oh yeah, I felt good for the villain of that movie. And then you're like, oh, why do you feel like good? What's the aspect of that character that you correlate with your life and with your choices, and how can we make that possible, but not like, maybe not in the same way, and what aspect, just a bunch of things. So I've been trying to use movies to talk about psychology, especially behavior analysis, which is the main like theory that I go by on the clinic. And it's really like fun. It's not like difficult, I think. It's not difficult, but I do struggle with it because sometimes I want to go in like depth and sometimes I don't want to do it. So today I have been thinking, okay, so what can I get? I went yesterday to watch the Odyssey by Christopher Nolan, and really liked it, which is very rare because I don't like Christopher Nolan. But I was thinking about, okay, so what can I talk about? And I'm thinking about like talking about grieving, grief, the grieving process. I don't know how to say. Because everyone was like grieving Odysseus, and he was just like vibing, not vibing, he was trying to survive. But at the same time, I'm like, when you have to do something that is like a part of your job, maybe it's like the financial part, and it's just like, there's like a part that you love and a part that is just, So I'm kind of like that. And I've been reducing the videos. Before I used to talk for like 6-7 minutes, and now I've been reducing for 3 minutes tops, because I'm also like posting on YouTube. I don't know why. It's just like a small channel that I just post like this bullshit. Not bullshit. It's a good content, okay? I put time on it. I'm just not like Chat GPT and say like create a script. No, I do it myself. But still, it's not the type of thing that I would personally watch, I think. And also I've been like really engaged and being really fun doing this. And it does take a while now to edit out and record and stuff. And it's way more fun to be like, okay guys, here's me recording how to do cake, than personally just being like, okay, so how can I talk about grieving with Christopher Nolan? Because there's other things that I really like, that is like, I really like to talk with people, so I've been having this dream since last year of having a podcast, because I love talking to people, and I think I'm way better at like having engaged in a conversation than just talking about myself. So there's that. And then also like another thought that I've been having is I got vanilla paste for the first time in my life. I never used vanilla as an ingredient, so I've been really like, okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm thinking about doing a wedding cake style, a wedding style cake, I don't know, but like two cakes with some type of frosting in the middle. But I've been thinking about like, how can I really use and shine the vanilla flavor, because I never used it. So I'm really excited. And I've been having this idea of making a year-long project of making my homemade vanilla extract. So I've been looking at vodkas and vanilla beans. I bought the paste because I thought it was just going to be vanilla and I don't know, some type of sugar, but then it has like xanthan gum, and I don't know if that necessarily is going to work if I put in an extract, because I know it's going to have like some type of level of fermentation, even if it is a high proof alcohol. So I've been thinking about, okay, so next time I got to buy like an extract to start the extract, just like Claire Saffit's recipe does. So I've been having like these thoughts, and to me, it's way more fun and engaging to think about vanilla and cake and baking than to think about like, okay, so I gotta make content for my job, which is not even bringing like me patience. But I honestly don't have the strength to change course right now. So I want to try this for at least like 6 months. And I don't think it's wrong, I don't think it's like like something that I can discard. I'm not doing, I like doing it, but at some point I'm like, so, I think it's like, it's a normal thing when you're doing a stuff for a really long time. I have really hard time keeping constants, and doing like the same thing every day and every week and every time. I really like to just like change things, but it's not necessarily what social media wants you to do. You gotta be known for something. So it's been really difficult. I have an idea of maybe rewatching Young Royals and kind of make like a mini breakdown of the series, getting back to like psychology aspects as well. But I don't know, it's just ideas. I've been really lazy. The time has been really gloomy and I've been feeling like really down. I just want to lay down. I don't want to work anymore. I just want like the money to come in and spend the whole day like watching videos on YouTube and just like relaxing. But at the same time, I'm not doing nothing that is tiring me. So it's been like a really conflicted time. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys another day or another time. I don't know what's going to be like the next. Who knows? I don't. Thank you. Hello. So, let me just get that. Yeah. Once again, it's 9 p.m. I finished what I had to do, and I'm going to shape the bread that I did earlier. I just follow like the same recipe from King Arthur, but I did a double batch. I doubled the recipe in hopes that this time I can bake like a beautiful loaf and fill the pan. And I'm gonna shape it today, get it out of the fridge, because it's gonna stay in the fridge. It's gonna stay in the fridge. And then I'm gonna get it out in the morning. And this time I'll not make the same mistake, because last time got a little bit chewy in the center. So I'm gonna give like 2-3 hours for it like to really rise and bake it. So probably it will be done around like 9-10 a.m. But now I'm gonna shape it, and I'm gonna try like to make a nice roll, so we have like a sandwich roll type of bread. Anyway, let's go. I hope you guys can see I have my phone and a shelf and a Mentos on top of it so it doesn't fall. Okay, let's go. Oh, by the way, my hands are like so much better. Almost to the point of fully killing it. I was really scared when I was working out, and I had like back exercises because you really have to pull. So I was scared of that, but it was okay. Which I love it. So now I have two functional hands, and I think it's gonna be like really easier. Okay, so let me get the pen for reference. Size. Man. So we're gonna do like a perfect loaf. Okay, good enough. We bring it here, seal side down, and I'm gonna try to do like a almost like a sourdough type, where here's really sticky. So let me just. Just like creating the most tension, and it broke, of course. That's okay. I'm not happy with this. Let me see how the hell am I gonna fix this. Okay, so this was the best that I could do, and honestly, I know, and I think I know like what was my mistake. I think by doing coil folds, I incorporated too much air, and I didn't deflate it enough, because it's like really bouncy and springy, and aerated. And I was like, why can't I knock the air out? And I think that was it. So I'm gonna cut with the coil folds next time because I already thought it was like being smart. But let's just see what happens. I know it's gonna be delicious. So. Okay, so I got the bread out of the oven. Absolute mess, absolute disaster, I say. But so I think doubling the recipe was a mistake. I think maybe the correct amount for my t- form would be like 1 1/4, 1 1/3 maybe of the recipe, but it does look like one of those like prehistoric flat fishes. So let's just say I baked this bread for the flat fishes that went extinct because no one cared enough. So I made this for them and for them only because I truly care. Like, who's looking for them? Like, we as queer people, we should be looking out for underprivileged species, and if someone went extinct was because it was not taken care well enough. So this is really like a cry for help, a call for unity between us and the extinct flatfishes. But I think it's like tasty, so I'm gonna cut it and just pray for the best. Hello, look who it is once again. So we're gonna have pizza tomorrow, and I need to portion the dough and create some tension. And I thought, okay, I want to rant about something. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. So I'm gonna give you guys like a little bit of view, and we're gonna discuss about books that I'm reading and realizing you're old now. So I am in like this weird phase of my life that I am 26. I have been working for a couple of years now, but not like enough that I'm an established person. And I've always liked to read. I've always liked to read, but I have outgrown that phase when you think like, oh, I need to sound smart, so I'm gonna read like really difficult and tough books. I remember when I was 16, I read like Dostoevsky, I read like Bukowski, the Lolita guy, I read like the classics, which I think is like the age you should be reading those. And now I just want to like doze off and read something that is a little bit funny. And most of the times turns out I don't like saying like I read erotic gay romance books because I don't read it because it's erotic, but just because it's like a quick read. And I feel represented because not a lot of books have gay characters. So I like reading like all through the bullshit. I read a series about they had like a whole gay city of cowboys, like 15 books. I don't know. But I've been having like this weird thought that most of those books, you can find like a lot about like first love and teenage love. And to me, it feels weird now reading about 16 years old, like having their first time. I'm like, why am I reading this? It feels, I don't know, it feels weird. So I've started like reading characters in college. And again, I finished college, I had experience. So I was really like, doesn't maybe exist some type of book that represents this phase that I am in life, that it's like, I'm not in school, I'm not in college, I am not anywhere. Turns out it does not. So what I did was I started reading books about people who had like kids, and it's a rabbit hole. Like, they had kids and then they found out they are not straight, because they fall in love with like guys. And something that I found very interesting in those books, it's most of the times there's like this very straightforward line of being like, oh, I'm not straight anymore, so obviously I'm gay. And I'm like, guys, like, bisexuality is a thing. Like, you can be bi, you can be pan, but like most of those books, it's like, okay, I used to be the straightest guy in town. Now I'm the queerest person in the whole town, and I sucked dick once, so now I only listen to Madonna. And I'm like, okay, And it's also like very funny how some of these authors, I think they are like women, and they are, I don't want to say they are like straight, but they obviously are in like a straight relationship, or they have like really strong straight, not, I don't know, like living, I don't know, but most of the times it follows like this very, it's a straight couple, and for some reason now, like, oh, for some reason now they are gay. That's how it feels, because it's always like, oh yeah, of course this gay couple, their dream is to get married. And so most of the times they're like, oh yeah, I used to be straight, but I sucked dick and I did anal, so obviously I'm queer and very gay. Which in my mind, it's like, look, just because you suck dick or you did like anal once does not make you gay. Like, I'm sorry. Just because you did that once does not like give you the ability to tap into the powers of music of Madonna. So it's very funny how even in these places of some sort of representation, you always end up with this very straight tropes of meeting someone, maybe cheating, getting married, having a family, which I feel like from experience is not like the queer path at all. Of course, like a lot of queer people, they get married and they have children, but like, I don't know, I just wanted to see a little bit more diversity. But again, it's just as I said, it's almost like a mindless type of reading where I'm not like reading for, I don't know, knowledge or because of specific reasons. I'm reading just to pass time. It's like those silly romances, and it's always had like the worst sex scenes. It's not like, it doesn't like even turn me on, at least. I most of the times I just skip it because it's just like, oh yeah, we're so horny, so we put it in, and I came, and I'm like, I don't know, it's fantasy, but like, I feel like people need to try a little bit harder, just, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah.